Hey friends, so Henry had just started to celebrate his white and green Christmas, and we are now starting chapter 5, The Pale Pink Dog, page 108. When Henry woke up one Monday morning in the spring, the first thing he thought was, 5 more days till Saturday. On Tuesday, the first thing he thought was, 4 more days till Saturday. By Wednesday, he felt as if Saturday would never come. It all began when Henry and Ribsy made their weekly trip to the Lucky Dog pet shop to buy fresh meat for Ribsy. "Well, if it isn't Henry and Ribs!" exclaimed Mr. Pennycuff. "Do you have your entry form in the dog show?" "Dog show? What dog show?" asked Henry. "Didn't you hear? The Parks Department is having a dog show in the park next Saturday. Boys and girls up to 16 years old may enter their dogs. The Woofy's Dog Food Company is giving out prizes. Better take an entry form and fill it out. A fine dog like Ribsy is sure to win a prize." Ribsy wagged his tail. "Well," said Henry, doubtfully, "he's an awfully good dog, but he isn't any special kind. I mean, he's not a Cocker Spaniel or an English Bulldog or anything special like that." "Oh, that doesn't matter in this show. Now you just take this form and fill it out. See, there's a place for dogs of mixed breeds, like Ribs." "Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Pennycuff," said Henry. "I think I will." So he took his entry form and 2 pounds of fresh meat, and he and Ribsy ran all the way home. When they came to Klickitat Street, Henry saw Scooter and Robert playing catch. Mary Jane and Beezus and her little sister Ramona were standing under a snowball bush, shaking petals down over themselves and pretending it was snowing. "Hey, look!" yelled Henry, waving the paper at them. The kids gathered around him to look at his entry blank. "I'm going to enter Ribsy," said Henry. "He'll win a prize. Mr. Pennycuff said so." "Ribsy's just an old mutt," scoffed Scooter. "He is not. He's a smart dog. And besides, it says he doesn't have to be any special kind of dog. See, it says dogs of mixed breed." "Whoa! Say, look at the list of prizes," said Robert. "Woofy's dog food, squeaking mice toys, feeding dishes, leashes, tickets to the movies, hats, a silver trophy. Whoa, a whole lot of stuff." "If they're giving silver trophies, I'm going to get a form for Princess Patricia of Tarabrook. She's a better dog than Ribsy," said Mary Jane. "Princess who?" demanded Scooter. "Princess Patricia of Tarabrook. That's Patsy's real name. She has a pedigree, and I know she'll win a trophy." Patsy was Mary Jane's Cocker Spaniel. You know," said Robert thoughtfully, "I'm going to enter Sassy. She's getting kind of old, but she's still pretty lively, and she might win a movie ticket or something." Beezus and Ramona didn't have a dog. They had a cat, 3 white rats, a turtle, and 1 guppy. I wonder where they got that guppy from. Beezus, though, said she knew where she could borrow a puppy named Puddles. "Well, I guess I might as well enter Rags," said Scooter. "He's the smartest dog around here. He can even sit up and shake hands. And he's all Airedale, too. He isn't any mixed breed like that old mutt of yours." "Ribsy isn't old, and he isn't a mutt either. And he can sit up, too. He's a better dog than your old Rags, and he'll win a better prize. I'll bet he wins a silver trophy." "Pah! Don't make me laugh," scoffed Scooter. "If he'd been any good, his folks wouldn't have let him get away." At last, Saturday came. Henry jumped out of bed as soon as he woke up, because he had a lot to do before the dog show at 10 o'clock. At breakfast, he stopped gulping his cereal to ask, Hey, Mom, can I give Ribsy a bath in the bathtub? Henry, it's may I give Ribsy a bath in the bathtub. Mom, may I give Ribsy a bath in the bathtub? Can't you use the laundry tub in the basement the way you normally do? His mom asked. But Mom, this is a special for the dog show. I want to do an extra good job on him this time. If I get him good and clean, I know he'll win a silver trophy. Oh, Mrs. Huggins sighed. Yes, Henry, you may give Ribsy a bath in the bathtub if you'll promise to clean up the bathroom afterward. Aw, gee, thanks, Mom. I'll clean it up. Excuse me, please. Henry, I'm afraid you didn't eat much breakfast, and I hope Ribsy does win a trophy. But I wouldn't get your hopes too high, if I were you. After all, he's just a mongrel. Oh, Mom, he's not a mongrel. He's a mixed breed, and I know he's a better dog than any dog around here. Come on, Ribsy. Ribsy followed Henry into the bathroom. When Henry began to run the water for the tub, he looked at Henry and then at the water. Then he tucked his tail between his legs and started to sneak out of the bathroom. Oh, no you don't. Henry grabbed him by the collar. He put his arms around Ribsy's middle and lifted him into the tub. Ribsy was heavier than he had been that day about a year ago when Henry carried him to the bus. Now, because this was a special occasion, Henry didn't use flea soap. He used his mom's shampoo. Ribsy whimpered. Henry rubbed the shampoo on him and worked it into a thick lather. He rubbed and scrubbed. The suds foamed thick and white until Ribsy, except for his face, was hidden in mounds of thick white lather. Now you ought to be good and clean, said Henry. He scooped up handfuls of water from the tub and poured them over the dog. He poured and poured, but the lather only grew thicker. Oh, if only he hadn't used so much shampoo. He tried mopping Ribsy with his washcloth. That helped, but it wasn't fast enough. He had an idea. He moved Ribsy around so he faced the end of the tub and turned the shower on him. Ribsy tried to jump out, but Henry held him tight. Ribsy raised his head, "Ow!" and howled. Henry, his mother called. What are you doing to that poor dog? Just washing him, Henry answered, and turned off the shower. Ribsy shook himself. Henry used 4 bath towels on him, but he still wasn't dry. Oh well, it's a warm day. Maybe the sun will dry him off, thought Henry. He took one of the towels and hastily wiped it over the floor and tub. Henry, I have to go downtown this morning. I hope you and Ribsy have good luck at the dog show. Mrs. Huggins had her hat on, ready to leave. Thanks, Mom. Say, have you seen the leash? It says on the entry blank, all dogs must be on a leash. I think you left it in the basement, Mrs. Huggins said as she left. Henry ran down to the basement. At the bottom of the stairs, he found the leash. Well, at least it had been a leash once. Now it was chewed into at least 12 pieces. Henry looked around hurriedly, searching for something to use in its place. Oh, if only he had more time. The only thing he could find was his mother's rainy day clothesline. After climbing up on an apple box to untie it, he ran upstairs and fastened one end to Ribsy's collar. It was longer than a leash, but it would have to do. When Henry went out onto the front porch, he saw Beezus and Ramona coming down the street. Beezus was carrying a squirming black puppy that kept trying to lick her face. Puddles, you stop that, she commanded, and set the puppy on the sidewalk. Puddles was wearing a red bow on his collar, and Henry was pleased to see that Ribsy wasn't the only dog with a rope for a leash. Come on, Henry, we'd better hurry, said Beezus. Ribsy sniffed at the puppy, and decided to ignore him. "Hey, look!" said Henry. "There's Mary Jane and Patsy and Robert and Sassy up ahead. We'd better run." When they reached the park, Henry saw that already there were hundreds of boys and girls and dogs there ahead of them. Henry had never seen so many dogs. There were Boxers, Great Danes, Pekingese, Airedales, Cocker Spaniels, St. Bernards, Pomeranians, Beagles, Irish Setters, English Setters, Pointers, and just plain dogs. Some, like Puddles, were wearing ribbons on their collars. Some wore sweaters, and some even had on little paper hats. A loudspeaker on a sound truck blared out, "Please take your entry forms to the registration desk by the tennis courts." And that is where we're going to stop for today. Tune in tomorrow and we'll find out what happens with Henry and Ribsy and Puddles and Beezus and Sassy and all the dogs and kids.